Hi guys, this is Klazar and welcome to another audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on the OSL 2 semi-finals between GGplay and Flash, and this is the second set of semi-finals. If you're watching my vlogs, you'll be aware that Iris already went through in the first semi-final versus Stork last week. So this is the second semi-finals between these two great players, and the winner of this matchup will go up and face Iris in the final. So I'm really looking forward to this match because it's an exciting match for so many reasons. First of all, the Flash is capable of what he can do to the event's wall lower, and if he can get past GGplay today, he will get one step closer to achieving that dream to the next level and possibly the youngest wall lower. He is so far the youngest player to reach the semi-finals of the OSL, and that is no small achievement. So it will be interesting to see what he can come up with here today against GGplay. GGplay is a Zerg player who is a great Zerg player, he's a very good Zerg player actually, but he has not yet earned the right to get himself called probably one of the great Zerg players as compared to players like Savior, because unfortunately he actually has not achieved anything so far despite having been on the scene for some time now. Last season he was fairly impressive, he played some good StarCraft and looked like a good player, but he didn't really get very far. And he really needs to get through to the finals here if he wants people to start taking him seriously, if he wants to build his reputation. We are playing this matchup on Fantasy, which is a pretty interesting map. It's a pretty varied and open map. I do feel that it is a map that the longer the game goes on, the more it favors the Zerg player. Because of the large push distances, it makes it very difficult for Terran players to attack the Zerg. And I think aggressive StarCraft is very important, especially from the Terran's point of view on this map. We saw that in Iris versus Stork in Game 3, Iris pushing very early, and Stork just didn't have the answers for it. Players on this map are obviously, because of the large spread, because of the difficulty of scouting, because of the time it takes to find the opponent's base, I think there's a huge temptation to fast expand on this map. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one or both players do that. Of course, GGplay, as I said, needs to prove himself. I don't think he is on the same level as someone like Savior, because I guess that's the problem. I guess Savior is the yardstick by which everyone is measured by, and unless you've beaten someone big, and that's GGplay's problem, he hasn't really beaten any really famous player that I am aware of, and until he pulls off a comprehensive best of 3 or best of 5 victory against someone like Reach or Nalra or Boxer or Savior himself or Bisu, or Iris in the finals if he can get to them. Until he does that, it's going to be very difficult for people to accept that he is one of the great players, that he deserves to be considered to be as good a player as the ones I've just mentioned. However, he is probably, without doubt, the second best player the second best Zerg player right now playing StarCraft. But unfortunately, the gap, or the perceived gap between him and Savior is huge. He does have a strong late game. He's rumored to have. Some people feel his late game is as strong as Savior's. I don't feel he's as good as Savior. I don't feel his micro Scourge and Ruthless micro is at the level of Savior. I also don't think his overall late game control is as good as Savior's. But today is his chance to prove himself. And Flash is fast expanding. Flash sent that SCD out, and he hasn't scouted anything. And this might not be a good idea for Flash, because GGplay has set that spawning pool up. GGplay started the early spawning pool, going for a 9 pool. I think the reason he did that was because he was wary of possibly Flash trying to do some sort of a rush build, and GGplay has scouted Flash's command center, so Flash is going to be in huge trouble now, because GGplay with that drone has scouted that GGplay's got his first group of Zerglings out, and he's also started his expansion, and Flash has not even got his barracks completely, and GGplay has seen that, and GGplay is going to pounce on this opportunity. GGplay saying that drone out to get this early scout, because he was obviously worried. We know Flash has had a reputation of doing a couple of cheese builds in recent big matches, most notably against Bisu, and so GGplay obviously wary of that, going for that early spawning pool, which was meant, in my opinion, to be more of a defensive thing and more to be annoying scouting. But now this is going to be serious trouble for Flash, because that expansion is going to come under fire, and Flash is going to be forced to defend it. GGplay with 6 soldiers is now attacking that expansion. If Flash is forced to cancel this, he will be really far behind in terms of economy. He has invested significant resources and slowed his build order down quite a lot, and in professional games, that kind of disadvantage is very difficult to recover from. GGplay does look like he's going to force, and Flash is forced to cancel that expansion. He still doesn't have any Marines out. He's going to be forced to bring his SCVs out, which means he's not going to be mining anything. He should be able to block GGplay from getting up that ramp. His first Marine should be popping out any second now. He's lost 1 SCV already though so far. He needs to minimize his losses. He lets GGplay up the ramp, and that was bad by Flash. He allowed GGplay to get more of a surface area, and he lost another 2 SCVs, another 3. He's lost 3 SCVs now. So horrible for Flash. He lost 3 SCVs. He also wasn't mining from those SCVs. He's also lost that expansion, and GGplay now, seeing how far behind Flash is, has decided to press the advantage even further by building that 3rd hatchery. And now Flash in huge trouble. He is pumping Reach from that rack. GGplay did get up that ramp, and he did see that Flash has got 2 barracks, but Flash hasn't and Flash has put a bunker up as well, so Flash forces spent a lot of resources in this defense, and Flash in huge trouble now. GGplay still managed to keep 4 of his 6 initial Zerglings intact. He didn't lose them all. Once he saw that first Marine was out, he pulled back, so he did a good amount of damage. He took out that early expansion by Flash, and Flash going for the early expansion, that was a huge risk, and really he has paid the price for it. If GGplay hadn't scouted so early, if GGplay had 9 pool, maybe it would have been a different game, but GGplay did 9 pool, GGplay did scout, and now Flash is in a world of trouble, and I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do. Flash though is going to try and counter your Flash with 5 Marines, and bringing his SCVs out, it seems. Okay, he stopped the Watson Bars. I thought there for a second that he was going to rush out with the Marines and SCVs, and yes, he is doing that. GGplay should easily be able to go, but he's already started his lair tech, so if Flash's attack here fails, he's going to be in huge trouble. Flash going with his Marines and bringing almost all of his SCVs. I don't know how many he's left back, probably just enough to continue to reinforce, but unfortunately 5 Marines aren't really enough to take down even a single Sunken that is going to be supported by drones and Zerglings, and GGplay has seen Flash advancing, and he should be able to pump Zerglings out from those 3 hatches easily. And I don't think Flash, without the help of stims or without the help of medics, is really going to be able to do much here against GGplay's defense. GGplay with almost 6 or 8 Zerglings, and that Sunken is almost complete. Flash going in now with those Marines and SCVs, and the Sunken finishes just in time. That Sunken's already half dead though, but GGplay is bringing his Zerglings out from behind. He's trying to get up those Marines. Flash trying to block the Zerglings, but he's already lost 4 of the Marines. The Sunken focuses on the Marines, and Flash loses all the 5 Marines that he had, and those SCVs now retreating. Flash has got more Marines, he's got another couple of Marines, but GGplay has got so many Zerglings, he lost almost no Zerglings in defending that attack to Flash. Flash focusing all his firepower on the Sunken, but unfortunately for him it wasn't enough. The Sunken still survived, and GGplay now pumping Zerglings to counter the attack of Flash, and GGplay once again excellent flanking by GGplay, picking off those Marines, just sniping them one by one, and Flash, there's very little he can do about it. His Marines are constantly being whittled down as they're being produced, even though he's pumping them through 2 barracks, and there's nothing he can do, and he GG's. Brilliant play by GGplay in terms of adapting his gameplay. When he saw that Flash was vulnerable, he seized the opportunity, he seized the moment, and he went for the throne, and he has achieved a victory because of that, and he's going to get a lot of confidence from that. Flash is Terran vs Zerg is one of his matchups that is considered to be a little bit suspect, because we haven't seen him against good players in a comprehensive victory on Terran vs Zerg. We haven't seen him in a good late game victory. We have seen him rush, I believe it was versus Luxury on Python, and that was a great rush by him, but his game against Odin on Shin Peaks Bikadu, which was a longish game in Terran vs Zerg terms, it was a half an hour game, it was quite long, but unfortunately in that game his medic and Marine micro didn't really seem up to scratch, but unfortunately we didn't get to actually judge any of that in this game. All we can say is that he unfortunately chose a build order that was perfectly countered by what GGplay did, and I feel it was too risky. There was no need for him to go that he's shown that first game away, but GGplay now with the early advantage in this matchup. This is Klazart, guys. Thanks for listening.
SCV를 몰고 마지막 한 방을, 마지막 한 번에 어떤 비수를 들고 적진에게 뛰어든 이런 느낌, 2경기, 3경기에서 기대하게 만들어주는 면이에요.
괜히 최연소 기록을 다 갈아엎고 있는 이영호가 아닙니다. 이런 한 경기 질 수도 있고 이길 수도 있는 거 아니겠습니까? 질 때 지더라도 절대 오락가락하게 만만하게 지진 않겠다는 겁니다, 이영호.